In today's film, I'm going to be sharing the 3 phases of actually setting up your chiropractic office. I'm going to use a couple of Venn diagrams to just make it a bit more delineated and clear, but actually in reality these are already blended in together. So I'll just be giving a basic outline of what it takes and your design thinking of what it takes to really set up this high retention office, not by chance, but really specifically by design. So enjoy the film, and I really appreciate you watching my work. If you'd like to subscribe and share the film, that would just really greatly support the channel and keeping more people in chiropractic care. Enjoy. So if we compare, for example, Practice Hell, let's assume Practice Hell for most of us is like intense client drop-off and then not adopting care long-term. Overwhelm, even though it's a small business, it can get quite overwhelming, which is interesting in itself, given that somebody can manage thousands of employees, and yet as a chiropractic business owner, which is a small business, we can often get overwhelmed by it, probably because we're not really trained in this. We've had a great calling to serve our community, but we're not really trained in running a business, and it can get extremely complex. And on the other end of that sphere, we've got Practice Heaven. So what does Practice Heaven mean for me? That means when you've optimized your retention, so you've built a really robust structure for inviting people into the chiropractic lifestyle. You've got a predictable revenue. This gives a lot of us chiropractic business owners a lot of rest, actually, which is important for career sustainability. And then we've got lifestyle freedom. I think that's why a lot of us actually start and run our own chiropractic business beyond wanting to serve our communities, that we can have a lifestyle choice. So there's 3 parts. So the first part is building your practice. So what's under building your practice? And that's the branding. Some chiropractors don't see the sense in it. I find if you spend 2 or 3 months on the decisions you make around how your practice shows up in its branding, from the voice of your brand, the color palette, and the typography setting that you'd like to use, you make those decisions now and you spend a bit of time on that, it can really stand the test of time for 10 years actually. So it removes decision fatigue as you move on with this. Then you've got the interior design of your practice, and you can't really be promoting like natural health care and then invite clients into a very synthetic environment with plastic flowers and poor choice of ceiling material, or poor lighting, or touch points that are just not real, like front desks that are made from IKEA. Fake wood office design is a really classic example of that. Just use natural materials where possible. And of course, under building your practice, you've just got to get really good at selling chiropractic. There's a big difference between selling chiropractic at the front end to a client, so that's you, the chiropractor, learns how to sell the care program and inspire clients into that. But later on, you'll learn that actually creating buyers is very different from selling something. So long-term clients buy from you, short-term clients get sold to by you, and there's a big difference in that. And then moving on, once we've built that part, then we come on to the more, let's call this the tactical part of a high retention office, and that's building your vortex. That's a 6-month rinse and repeat process of variable touch points that the clients go through. The first thing that we do build is your welcome booklet, and this helps you change the reason why most people are coming into you. I believe you've got about 4 weeks to do this, and if you haven't achieved that in 4 weeks, chances are you'll get symptom relief in a client and they will leave. But if you've altered the reason why they come to you by the use of this welcome booklet tool, you'll have a really big chance of inviting them into long-term chiropractic care without needing to be cheesy or any cringe-worthy kind of scripting that you need to get into. It's very much an invitational thing where the client comes to you with a yes, I'll raise my hand and I'll adopt this lifestyle that you're recommending. Then we've got the quarterly newsletter that forms the glue to the rhythm of this entire vortex idea. A lot of our favorite clients actually do collect these, and what actually happens as you progress through the quarters, you end up building quite an archive of previous issues of newsletters, and they double up as an educational tool, but also a promotional tool when people inevitably ask for, can chiropractic help with, or I didn't know chiropractic could do this, or that's the newsletter. And then we've got our lending library, and our lending library is mostly used by our clients that come in for performance-based care. So it's not just a lending library to impart more information, actually. It's a lending library to actually inspire your clients to link you and your mindset with New York Times bestsellers, mostly non-fiction, kind of how to live your life, how to sleep better, how to stretch better, how to walk better, inspiring books. Performance-based people who, wear technological wearable things that measure their health metrics, they have a lot of knowledge around health and they really do monitor things. And then you cannot have a high retention office without a rhythm. And of course, with the rhythm, you really need to train the team in how to use these tools effectively for retention, for referrals, and for also reactivations. It needs to be an automatic process. Once we've got the team trained, I really do like to explore the table talk. So how do you link the chiropractic adjustment with the values that people choose to live their life by? So for example, a person who wears natural shades of clothing or natural material of clothing, you need to link the chiropractic adjustment to the same reason that they choose to buy those sorts of things. Or people that use natural hair shampoos or cosmetics, or women that wear cleaning products for their face that always choose organic materials. You want to have that person choosing chiropractic for the very same reason why they choose those natural materials. And then you have the community event. So building a community is certainly not an afterthought for a high retention office. In fact, your clients that really want to adopt your work, they're looking for a place to belong. So we have 2 community challenges per year and 1 community event. That's the process. So then when we talk about overlapping these things, those 3 parts to building a high retention office, that's where we've got a real sweet spot, and that's where the lifetime clients are really hidden. So like I said, we've got building your practice, then building your vortex, and then building in the rhythm. Now when you link building your practice, which is your brand, your interior design, and your ability to sell chiropractic, with the vortex, which is your welcome booklet, your quarterly newsletter, your lending library, amongst other things, when you link those 2 together, you get a real strong, clear message that can go out into your community. There's no hazy edges to that. And once you've built your vortex and you've trained your team and you get a rhythm into this and you've got some community events and community challenges built, that's when you get a lot more repeated adjustments. This happens as a byproduct to building a vortex. But of course, it takes 6 to 12 months to really build a good vortex. Once you've built your rhythm and that combines with your practice, you've got a lot more predictability with your revenue, which for any small business owner brings in a lot of rest. So they're the 3 overlapping parts to building a high retention office. And I hope you've enjoyed this film. Share it to a friend who you think might benefit from it. And I will see you in the next film. Thank you.